Have you ever felt it, the sudden emptiness where motivation used to live, that quiet sinking in your chest when the spark that once drove you forward seems to vanish overnight? We've all been there, staring at our goals with tired eyes, wondering why yesterday's fire feels like a flickering candle struggling against a storm. And in that moment, it's easy to mistake the absence of motivation for failure, to believe that if we do not feel inspired, we cannot act. But the truth is, motivation is a guest, not a master, and waiting for it to knock on our door is a trap we've all fallen into. What transforms our lives is not fleeting excitement, it is the deliberate act of moving, even when our hearts whisper, "I can't." We feel like strangers in our own lives when motivation fades, as if the rhythm of our days no longer belongs to us. The quiet dread of stagnation creeps in, whispering that our dreams are too big, our will too small. Yet, if we pause and look closely, we realize that this void is not a signal of weakness, but an invitation, a call to meet ourselves not with expectation, but with presence. It is here, in the absence of enthusiasm, that true growth takes root. It is here that we learn that action is the bridge between who we are and who we long to become, and that even small steps matter more than waiting for perfect readiness. We begin by challenging the belief that we must always feel ready, that we must always be motivated to act. This idea, that our worth is tied to our energy or mood, is a lie. We are not fixed beings, incapable of progress when the wind shifts. We are rivers, flowing and bending, capable of forging new paths regardless of the clouds above. By releasing the notion that feeling inspired is a prerequisite for movement, we reclaim our power. We discover that discipline, more than desire, carries us forward, and that each intentional act, no matter how small, compounds into momentum. Clarity emerges when we stop seeking the illusion of motivation and instead ask ourselves, what do we truly want, and why? Knowing our vision gives our steps purpose, even when the heart wavers. It is the compass that guides us through uncertainty, the quiet north star that reminds us that our journey is not about fleeting emotions, but about aligning each action with our highest values. When we define our why, each small effort becomes a seed planted in fertile soil, growing silently, even when motivation seems absent. Purpose fuels discipline, and discipline turns dreams into reality. By committing to actions beyond inspiration, we cultivate resilience. We learn to rise each day with intention, to honor our plans even when enthusiasm sleeps, and to see setbacks not as failures, but as essential lessons etched into the map of our growth. Life does not pause for us to feel ready, it moves, and the brave ones, the ones who act without waiting, catch the momentum and ride it forward. Gratitude transforms this process. Even when our energy feels depleted, recognizing the smallest victories, the minutes we chose focus, the decisions to persist despite fatigue, reminds us that progress is always present, even when invisible. A growth mindset turns obstacles into teachers, exhaustion into signals, and fading motivation into a canvas where our resolve paints the next brushstroke. By appreciating these moments, we learn that the path to our potential is paved with persistence, not passion, and that consistency holds far more power than fleeting excitement. Adaptability is the final secret. We cannot control every mood, every spark, or every external circumstance, but we can tune into our inner compass. We can adjust our methods, honor our energy cycles, and listen to the subtle signals of what our mind and body need. True mastery is found not in forcing constant zeal, but in harmonizing with ourselves while still moving forward. It is in this balance, action without dependence on feeling, that we reclaim agency over our lives. So here is your task. For the next 7 days, identify one task you have been avoiding because you weren't feeling it. Commit to taking the smallest possible step toward it each day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Observe how, by acting without relying on motivation, your momentum builds, your confidence grows, and the invisible power of persistence reshapes your reality. Because in the end, motivation is not the master, it is the companion, flickering beside us, lighting the path but never carrying us. Action carries us. Discipline carries us. The choice to begin, to continue, and to show up, even when the spark is dim, is what transforms ordinary days into extraordinary change. Every step we take without waiting for permission from our feelings is a declaration that we are architects of our destiny, not passengers of circumstance. And as we step forward, remember this: the journey is ongoing, the power is within you, and the life you long for is not found in fleeting inspiration, but in the courage to act when the world is quiet and motivation has faded. Your journey has only just begun, and the first step, taken without feeling ready, is already the bravest act of all.